The United States is to host a so-called Summit for Democracy in December. The country is handpicking guests to the meeting, according to its own definition and standards of democracy. Experts say the U.S. wishes to monopolize the definition of democracy, which only serves hegemonic intentions.
Well, I think that the real issue is not democracy. The real issue is geopolitics. They are trying to rebuild, of course, a kind of hegemonic system.
The trajectory is still towards an attempt to recreate the Western alliance as those who decide the rules of the road. I think it's a failed task because I just don't think there is the basis for that at this point. They have the so-called alliance of democracy. The basis of it's the Western alliance. I think this is the failed attempt. Look, you're trying to contain China, and that's what it is.
There is no standard model of democracy, first of all, globally. If you look at the trust level in the model of democracy which US and certain Western countries are preaching, that's what I'm saying, that my answer is that the trust of the people on that model is declining.
I think this summit itself will really not have any momentum to continue in this vein going forward. Democracy is for each country to shape and work through in its own ways, and it is not for a particular group of countries to define who is or is not a democracy. I think it's been an unfortunate development right from the end of the Cold War era, because the goal of the US from that point on was never to rebuild that UN-centered system as much as to have a US-led system, at times with allies or just unilaterally on its own, to define what the world's preferences would be